Today's episode is really about the mindset or the psychology of pitching retainers. We're on a tear at the moment in our office and with people I've seen trying to do the whole retainer pitch. I've been doing them for years and I've never had an issue getting them, but I can tell you now there's some fundamental flaws in your approach. And if you're having trouble getting retainers, I'm telling you now it's not how you do them. It's not the pitch so far in terms of like how you're going to execute it. You know that a retainer is actually going to net a better result for you and your client. It's it's at that real initial pitch and how you go and do it. Now this one comes about because I'm talking to someone who says, I've gone for 5 retainers and got all 5 knocked back. I'm like, okay, walk me through how you do it. And really it was very apparent, and I've seen this across many, many desks. When you're pitching a retainer, the most common problem, or the most common, I guess, flaw people have is they make it about themselves. I want a retainer, or they walk in and go, I want this retainer, or I really want this because it's going to be better for my desk, or I really want to do it this way, or I'm moving my desk to retain. It's all about me as a recruiter and what I'm trying to achieve here for you, whereas it needs to be actually simpler than that, and it needs to be a bit more bold than that. Here's my one line, or here's my sort of sequential thinking that will really help increase the amount of retainers that you get. And it's not hard because, again, this isn't a technical episode. This is that how do you set it up for success so that you get more and more of those retainers that you go for. Step 1, listen to the brief. Don't go in there and start pitching retain from the beginning. If you go to the beginning of the meeting and say, this is what we want to do, your client will literally be on the back foot the entire time. Just wait. Take the brief. Make it feel like you really are listening. You understand what they're after. You need to sit down for whatever that dance looks like in terms of taking a brief. And you want to go, okay, cool, take it on. Now, if you're a specialist recruiter, which most of you are, these briefs are going to be hard. You're in the room because they have not had any luck hiring this themselves is typically why you're in the room. And so therefore, we already know this role is tough to fill. So what you want to do is you want to listen, you want to take the brief, you want to probe, and you want to hear them out, and you want to sort of spitball some ideas and whatever. And when it comes that whole, okay, and they go, what do you think? Do you think we can find someone? What are your thoughts? And this works even if you've got an existing relationship with a client who has only ever done contingent with you. This also works if it's a brand new client and they've never done work with you. You sit in that room, you listen to them, and you say, it's a tough brief. It's a great brief, but it's a tough brief, and we all know why. It's a limited talent pool. The things you're asking for are pretty specific. We're not lenient here. Maybe we could push that. I'd want to be a little bit lenient on years of experience, that sort of stuff. You say, but my recommendation to you from the onset, and this goes whether you use me or another agent, you need to do this retained, and here's why. And you go into it from there. So you're going from I want retained for my desk to I'm just going to give you some free advice here. You need this handled with a retained approach. And they'll go, oh, okay. Why do you think that? And then you've got permission to launch into it. And what you've actually done is taken you out of the equation. You're basically saying, irrespective of me, might be Joe recruiter down the road that you have a relationship with, do it retained. I just got a bit of liquid there. And then you go, and then you launch into your whole pitch, and that's where you're probably a little bit more prepared. But it's that setup to the pitch. If you just launch into the pitch, like, hey, I want to do this retained, this is why, we've had a bad experience with that, we really don't want to pay money up front, Like, you need to set up that whole, okay, this is advice. This is not a request, it's advice. So you're going from me, which is a request, I want to do this retained for you, I want to really lock in, I want to get in a relationship, I want this to be like you and me, buddy, but it goes from me to, hey, here's some free advice, looking at the brief you've got, what you've already done in the market, the difficulties that you've had, you really should be doing this retained, and here's why. And then you launch into it. And off the top of my head, it'll be something around the lines of, you've tried the traditional ways, going contingent, you've tried yourselves, it's not working for whatever reason, getting CVs left, right, and center from recruiters, and I know that's how you've typically worked in the past, but you need visibility here. It's an important hire. How important is this hire? And it's a really important hire. Look, it's not just a recruiting exercise, it's a marketing exercise for the future roles as well. So if you can lock in with a provider who can give you visibility on who is being tapped in the market, you can actually work through that list together of like yes, no, maybes, and we go and we start promoting the brand and the role at the same time. You're doing the company a massive service. Right now it's a mess and you've got everyone which way, and you actually don't even know which recruiters are servicing you or not. They all say yes, 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 but you're not really seeing the CVs you want to see. You haven't made any appointments that have lasted. You need to try something different because more of the same won't work. So again, I think I'm the right fit for it, but if you think there's another provider who would be a better fit for it, irrespective, that is the approach I would recommend. And they go, oh, what does that cost me? Aha, I'm glad you asked. You don't say it like that, but that's when you jump in. And this is, I think, the second part of where people fuck up pitching it. Again, because they get so nervous asking for money up front, right? And if you're that recruiter who's new at retainers, you think, oh, got to ask for money up front. Fucking right, you're going to ask for money up front. We know how much work we do, right? Before we even get to interview stage. So the one line that can disarm your client completely and actually put you at ease so you can deliver that in such a strong way is as simple as, well, it costs you no more than traditional recruitment. So guard comes down. In fact, a lot of my clients love it because it's better for their cash flow. Oh, and now they're leaning in and going, okay, you're talking my language. So it's going to cost you the same. In fact, it's going to be better for my cash flow. Why is that? You go, well, we get a mobilization retainer up front. So you're paying, basically look at it as like, you're paying me to do this work. We're going to go through the long listing. We're going to sit down. We're going to go look at it. We're going to shortcut that down to a medium list. I'm going to go and do that work. You got full access to that list. That's kind of what you're paying for me up front. And then once we close this thing out, I'll invoice you for the remainder minus, based on our nominal rate, minus whatever you've already paid. So it costs you no extra. You get to pay for some of it now and the remainder of it later. So it spreads it out over a couple of months. Clients love it, especially small companies. They love that. They go, yes. And then the third thing I ask you is, well, what happens if you're not successful? And then that's up to you how you want to pitch that. Some clients, you say, well, you've paid me for the work. And once they realize you've actually paid an hourly rate to do the work, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I've paid you to do the work. That's what you pay me for. Other people, you say, you're a good client. I do actually really want this. It depends on what you want out of this, but I have said to clients where I've done multiple transactions with, I say, look, it's a floating credit. If we really, I back myself, I think we'll get this done. I do not want to have to go and use that credit on something else. So that's my motivation. But if you pop a floating credit, if it doesn't work out, you can apply that credit to something else. Really, why do we want a retainer up front? One, it's great for our cash flow. Two, it locks us in. It gives us an ability to get our clients to sign exclusivity. Make sure we lock in those roles. Make sure we protect our turf. And it's just sensible recruiting, right? So they're my tips for retainers, okay? It's not actually too much technicality in it. It's more just how do you approach those really important parts of the conversation in a retainer. So just to reflect quickly on what was it? Number one was, don't make it about yourself, make it about them. Take me out of the equation, whether it's me or someone else. I strongly advise that you go down the retainer route. That's number one. Number two is how much is it going to cost me? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's actually not going to cost you any more. In fact, clients do like this approach because it's spread out, so you get a little bit up front and the rest at the end. Great for cash flow. Two, and then the third one is, and what if you're not successful? They're thinking risk, risk, risk. And then that's up to you. But again, I sometimes, if it's a client that I don't really, when you just go, I have to, that's a lot of work. It is what it is. But if it's a good client or you're trying to get it across the line, what you can say is it's a floating credit. So if we're not successful, you can use that to apply to other parts of the business or other roles that we work on. But as a disclaimer, not in my jam. I don't want that. I don't want that as an outcome because then that's just work done that really I've got to, take a cut on for the next one again. So they're the three sort of points within a retainer I think people fuck up. They're too timid. They get scared at those points. So hopefully there's some tips that can help you kick some goals. Let me know how you go. I'm getting a lot of feedback this year, which I'm loving. We did launch tour, went around the country last month, and I met so many people, and so good just hearing these stories of success and what you're getting out of the podcast. I love it. It helps us. It gives me confidence, and love it, love it, love it. So thank you so much, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals, and retained pitches come true.